You guys, what's up? Gimpsor here, coming at you with another Season 17 build guide. This right here is your Vyrs Chantodo obliterate things on the map wizard. So, take a look here, kind of stuff you need. We're gonna go over the build abilities, gear, everything like that. So we're utilizing 6 pieces of Vyrs. We're utilizing the Chantodo set, and then a couple other complementary items here. So let's start with the gear. I'll tell you what rolls ideally you want, and then we'll show what's in the cube, legendary gems, etc., etc. And I'll send you on your way on Farming Torment 16. So, as I said, 6 pieces of Vyrs. That's going to be helm, shoulders, gloves, chest, pants, and boots. You're going to be utilizing Chantodo set, which is the wand and offhand. You'll be using a Compass Rose and Traveler's Pledge. And last but not least, Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. In the cube will be Aetherwalker, Swami, and Avarice Band. On the gear, your ideal rolls here are going to be you want cooldown is your first priority, and then after that is going to be intelligence, vitality, and then armor would be ideal. Helmet is just int vite crit chance. For your amulet, you want cold skills, crit chance, crit damage. For your gloves, you're focusing first on cooldown, then crit chance, crit damage, and then a perfect roll here would be attack speed for your fourth, which would make it a quadfecta. However, it's not a big deal, especially for T16, so just focus on cooldown, then crit chance, crit damage. Your chest piece, ideally int vite armor or int vite life is fine. Bracers, you want cold skills, int vite crit chance. For your Fazula's belt here, you want int vite armor and then life percent ideally. Rings, you want to get cooldown first and then focus crit chance, crit damage. I got very lucky early in the season with this ring here, but I know how hard these rings are to get, so don't worry about getting something like this. Focus on cooldown, like I said, then try to get crit chance, crit damage if you can. Obsidian here, you roll off your resource cost reduction, so you have attack speed, crit chance, crit damage. Pants, you want int vite armor. Same with boots, ideally int vite armor, however, anything int vite all res like that is fine as well. For your weapon, I actually got a very good one very early on in the season. You want int, cooldown, and then attack speed. Ideal roll, like a perfectly rolled one here, would be percent damage, cooldown, attack speed. Last but not least here, your Chantodo's force. You want a high damage range, and then you want to be focusing on cooldown and crit chance, and then you want to get the 4-8 arcane power on crit. However, 3 is fine. It just makes it a little hard sometimes to sustain your arcane power here. So a quick overview of the skills. You want Arcane Torrent, Static Discharge. Slow Time, I run Time Warp. However, you can run something else, such as Stretch Time. However, I prefer Time Warp, and to be honest with you, in T16, I'm not usually using that very often, except for at the start of the Rift. Magic Weapon, Force Weapon. I use Storm Armor with Scramble for movement speed. Teleport, Calamity. You can also run Wormhole, but since you have your Aetherwalker in the cube, you can pick whichever one of these you feel most comfortable with. Last but not least, Archon, Slow Time. You can run, say, Improved Archon or Pure Power, whichever one of these you want to run. However, if you change from Slow Time, your Bracers and Amulet, you want to change to whichever element these change to. So, for example, we're running Slow Time, so I told you on your Amulet and Bracers to run Cold Skills Increase. If you were to change to Improved Archon here, you'd want to change it to Arcane. If you change it to Pure Power, you'd want to change to Lightning. As for passives here, Audacity, Unstable Anomaly, Astral Presence, Evocation. There's a couple in here you can kind of change around, but This is pretty much what I like. You can change it according to whatever you may like, but like I said, this is what I run. So basically, before you enter the rift, you want to activate your magic weapon and your storm armor. And then other than that, it's when you get to your first set of enemies, you want to get your Chantodo stacks up. So what I like to do, when I get to my first pack of enemies that I see, I will drop my slow time, and then I will cast Arcane Torrent. And you will watch as you hit enemies, your Chantodo stacks will grow. The higher these, the better, but in Torment 16, as long as you have decent gear, you don't need to focus on getting these too high. However, the higher the better, because the more damage you're going to deal when you initially get into Archon. So once you get, like I said, get those stacks as high as you can, then you will activate Archon and go in. There's two things you want to do in here. You want to activate your number 2, which is one of the passive, or the rune that we're running for Archon, which gives you a shield. But you also want to be making sure that you're holding down left click, but also spamming 1. These two abilities will be stacking your Archon stacks a lot faster than your Archon beam will. So make sure you're using both of them. So when you come out of Archon, it will be the same thing. Kind of get somewhere safe, drop your shield, get your Chantodo stacks up as high as you can, and then once again go back into Archon. Other than that, that's just the build. Like I said, in Archon, make sure you're spamming 1. I'm not sure if Numlock works with this, so you can either kill your finger and get Carpal Tunnel, or you can macro it. And then, like I said, other than that, you're just holding down left click. And as you will notice, when your Archon stacks get higher and higher, you will get to your attacks per second will max out at 5. There's some talk of this going over the attack speed of 5 APS. However, I haven't tested that, so I'm not sure, and I haven't played Wizard that much. I just wanted to bring this build to you for you guys to see, you know, what the build can do, and it, you know, it's a very viable Torment 16 build. So, with that being said, guys, let's go in. We'll do a rift, and then we'll conclude the video. One thing I forgot to go over, since we're running Vyrs Band in the cube, make sure you're running a Boon of the Hoarder. And then your other 2 gems will be Goguk. This is for attack speed and your cooldown reduction. Gets you back in Archon a lot faster. And then you can run a Bane of the Trapped. However, if you do notice yourself kind of struggling on damage, or if you're taking 2 damage, one alternate you could do here is you could drop Vyrs Band, and you could run, for a little bit more damage, you could run Convention. Or you could, if you're taking too much damage, you could run Halo of Karini. And then since you would drop Avarice, you could put in, instead of Boon of the Hoarder, you could put in a Bane of the Powerful. However, this is the build, or the setup that I like the most. So let's go in, we'll do a rift, and I'll show you what it's capable of. So, Nephilim Rift here. Alright, so as I stated, activate your 1 and 2. I'm going to drop a slow time right here on these enemies. I'm going to cast Arcane Torrent. These guys will get kind of close to me. As you will see, my Chantodo stacks down here are stacking up. Oh, I am on Torment 3. This is not going to work. I wondered why I was killing them so easily. So let's make a new game real quick. Why didn't you guys tell me I was on Torment 3 and not Torment 16? It's not nice of you. No, I'm kidding, of course. Alright, let's try this once more, shall we? It's probably going to give me a horrible rift now. Oh, how about the exact same one? Alright, so we see some mobs. We have some dangerous mobs here. Activate your 1 and 2. I'm going to take some damage here. I might go into Archon really soon. Alright, we're going to go ahead and go in. Like I said, make sure you're spamming your number 1 button. And activating number 2. And then it's literally just going through and holding down 1 on mobs and making sure you're spamming 1. Like I said, it's not the fastest build, but it does a lot of damage. Now that we're out of Archon, we're going to find our next pack of enemies, which there's one right here. We're going to get our Chantodo stacks up. And then we're going to go ahead and go back into Archon, activate our shield. Make sure that 1 is being pressed. And it's literally just going through mobs. Wish it was a little faster. However, there's not really too much else you can do to improve the speed of it. But if it's all you got in terms for a class or a character for farming T16, it's about what you got. So, and it'll get you through T16 no problem. It's just not going to be as fast as, say, the guide that I did on the Lawn Skeletal Mage or a Lawn Wave of Light Monk or things of that nature. And I tell you, my luck with rifts has been pretty crappy in these build guides. A couple stacks, not too worried about getting it too high. Like I said, in T16 it's not really that big of a deal. Getting a lot of rubber banding on Wizard, don't know why. Yeah, like I said, there's really not much to it. Just making sure you're spamming one and holding down your left click. Stack up them Archon stacks. And one thing about Aetherwalker, a lot of people like to run Ingium. Aetherwalker makes it makes your your teleport much smoother, except for when you're rubber banding like I am. But other than that, it's not bad. It's going to be a very slow rift just because of the rifts I got, and like I said, this build isn't exactly one of the faster builds for farming T16, but it's more than capable. So if you're not one of those elitists that cares about doing a rift in sub 1 minute, this will be just fine for you. And gear isn't really important in terms of getting ancients. I did my first Wizard T16 with all non-ancients, and to be honest, it was doing just as, you know, more than enough damage for the rift. So as you can see there, boss dies right away, and there's really not much to it. So other than that, guys, that's going to conclude this guide. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments section down below. And as always, I stream on twitch.tv/GimSwordGaming. Try to do that daily here in Season 17. And might go into Season 18, not sure. It all depends on what the season theme is. But with that being said, guys, that will conclude. If I forgot anything, I apologize, and I will try to add it in the comments section. But with that being said, that's about it for the guide. If you like, please hit that like button, share it around, let all your friends know how cool of a wizard you can be. You're a wizard, Harry. Alright guys, I'll catch you next time. Peace.